Hey everybody, I'm gonna read this book. It's a Diary of a Minecraft Zombie. Gonna read the whole thing. Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright. Anyway. Let's read it. Diary of a Minecraft Zombie by Harebrained Books. Monday. Erg! Honey, it's time to get up. Ergak! Honey, it's nighttime already. You need to get up. Aw, Mom, do I have to? Yeah, yes you do. Those villagers aren't gonna scare themselves. Erg! Don't erg me. You get up and get ready this instant. Okay, Mom? Zombie parents can be a real pain sometimes. It's always do this, scare that. Some days I wish I were human, so I wouldn't have to get up at night and go scaring. I'm pretty sure human parents aren't like this. And I'm sure some human parents aren't always telling their kids what to do. Human parents are probably really nice and let their kids stay up all day, do whatever they want. Not zombie parents. Don't go out during the day because you'll burn yourself, blah blah blah. Okay, Boomer. One day, I'm just gonna stay out all day, just to see what'll happen. My friend, Creepy, stays out during the day, nothing happens to him. As a matter of fact, so does Slimy, next door. Erg, they can't have all the fun. Why can't my parents be like that? Well, at least I'm not alone. My best friend, Skelly, can't go out during the day either. His parents are really strict. Skelly's parents won't even let him have a dog. He said his uncle's got a dog once, but they buried his grandmother in the backyard. Never found her. Bummer. I didn't know they buried her in the backyard then. Well, it's scare day today, so I have to go out and scare some villagers again. Most of the time it's boring, but sometimes it can be fun. One time I crept up behind a villager, put my arms out like this and said, Erg! Really scared him. Actually, he was so scared he ran away and dropped his sword. Villagers don't have swords. Took it as a souvenir, have it hanging up on the wall. What the fuck? Another time, I was in a friendly mood and I said hi to a villager. He fainted. I think it was my breath. Mom always tells me not to brush my teeth, but today I forgot and did anyway. What? Is it like... There's a zombie at school that gets really on my nerves. This is Wednesday. No really. He steps on the nerves on my feet every time he walks by. His name is Jeff. I wouldn't be so mad if he wasn't bragging all the time. I scared 5 villagers yesterday, he said, really loud in my face. Who cares? Anybody can do that. And I did it during the daytime, he said. What? During the daytime? Yep, during the daytime. Either he was lying, or Jeff is not such a lame brain after all. He said that his uncle took him out on a rainy day, and they scared a bunch of villagers that were huddled under a tree. Still don't believe him. But explain why he smells funny. Zombies aren't supposed to get wet. At Scare Day school today, the teacher taught us about the best time to scare villagers. He said if we're really lucky, we can catch a villager trying to mine at night. No, you can't. They're great. That was an aside by me. They're great because they always drop cool stuff you can take home. I don't fucking mind. My buddy Creepy said his uncle scared a miner one night. He almost went home with a fat diamond. He almost went home with a fat diamond. But his uncle got so excited he blew up. It sucks. After scare school, me, Creepy, Skelly, and Slimy like to go out to have some fun. Sometimes we go to the village to cause some trouble. Our favorite game is to bang on some doors and run away. I almost got caught once, but I just said, "Rug," talked my way out of it. Worked like a charm. Creepy told me that he came face to face with a villager once. He got so nervous he started shaking. He tried to introduce himself, but the guy just ran away. I don't think people really get creepy. My favorite game is hide and seek. Our friend Slimy told us he played hide and seek with his uncle once. One time his uncle hid under the water, and I never heard from him again. What? It's a cruel world out here. Friday, I got home from school and my little brother started bothering me again. He's such a little ankle biter. No, really. He likes to bite my ankles and run away really fast. There's a picture of a little baby zombie here. Adult zombie. And on the other page, there is a picture of a drowned slime with crosshair in the picture too. Just a fun note. Sometimes he hops on his chicken, and then I can never catch him. Mom says I used to do the same thing when I was his age. I guess they don't feed us enough when we're kids. My mom said I had to get ready for dinner. I asked her, what's for dinner tonight? Rotten meatloaf. Can't we go out to eat? I asked her. There are no villagers out tonight, so no, we can't. Bummer. I was really hungry. You know what you're thinking? I'm thinking you eat villagers. That's an aside by me. But we don't eat villagers. But when we scare them, they sometimes drop really yummy food. One time I scared a villager and she dropped a cake. It's the best day ever. So in Minecraft lore, official canon, all things are agendered. Just want to point that out, so... I don't know what agenda this book's trying to do here. This is Saturday. Today, Mom says we're gonna go to my cousin's house. He lives in the Nether. It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so hot there all the time. My cousin's name is Piggy. Funny name, right? Piggy doesn't think so. When I asked Piggy where he was from, he told me something about his dad being struck by lightning or something like that. Piggy's always making stuff up. Piggy's house is right in the middle of the Nether. The Nether is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. The first time I visited, I brought my sleeping bag. I rolled it out to get ready for bed and boom! Never gonna do that again. Also, it's really noisy there. Too much snorting and wailing. Mom tells me it's just the ghats that do a flyby once in a while. They're really noisy for flying octopuses. Piggy introduced me to his friend Blaze. I tried to give him a high five, but he didn't have any hands. Talk about awkward. I would debate this. I would say that a Blaze has all the rods are hands. What else would they be? Anyway, Piggy and I play all kinds of games, but the only game we can't play is tag. As soon as I tag Piggy, all of his relatives get mad and start chasing me for some reason. Is it racist? It's Sunday. Contrary to what most people think, humans can be friendly. I actually have a human friend. His name is Steve. Huh. We have a lot in common. We wear the same clothes. Steve is kind of weird looking. He has a square head. Steve also never changes his clothes. Thought only zombies did that. Steve walks funny too. I tried walking like him once and a villager started talking to me. I don't know what to do, so I ran away. But even though he's weird, Steve is still my friend. My mom says I shouldn't make friends with humans. She says they smell funny. She says, if the humans become our friends, who are we going to scare? You villagers, you fucking idiot, Mom. She didn't like my idea about scaring little brothers. My mom doesn't like me asking her too many questions either. One day I asked her, Mommy, where do zombies come from? She seemed a bit tongue-tied. I remember she doesn't have a tongue. When she finally said something, she said, zombies are mobs created by computer programmers at Mojang to make the game of Minecraft a more challenging and enjoyable experience. Whenever my mom uses big words, I know she's hiding something. Why is this the lore of the book? My friend Creepy said that zombies come from being bitten by other infected zombies. A plague that originated from some secret military experiment. I think Creepy watches too much television. I liked Skelly's answer the best. He says zombies aren't made, they're born. He says they hatch from eggs. Kinda makes sense. I've seen a lot of eggs around here. This is Monday. Sometime after school, me and the guys go out to mess with the spiders. They don't do much. That's... the optics on this is pretty... This sucks. They don't do much, they just crawl around, but we like to tip them over. What was that? I saw some humans do that to a cow once. It looked like fun, but you need to be careful with cave spiders. They get really mad if you tip them over. I think they're better than regular spiders. I found out the hard way you shouldn't tip over a silverfish. They travel in gangs. It wasn't much fun to get beat up by a silverfish. It's a weird impulse to tip over a worm. Oh my god. So on this page there's... Oh geez, there's a drawing of an Enderman, but he has really big detailed hands that he's holding very low to the ground, and he's hunched over like he's taking a shit. This is a cursed image. I like the Endermen. They're really nice. They're also really tall for teenagers. Why are they teenagers? Oh, I forgot to read the back of the book. This is about a 12-year-old Minecraft zombie. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's demeaning. But anyway, just to add context, this is a 12-year-old zombie. Anyway, back to Enderman. I still can't understand what they do all night. I guess moving blocks around is fun. I just don't get it. It's probably a secret club, only the coolest kids can be a part of it. I tried talking to one to find out the inside scoop. It didn't work. He just stared at me. I wish I could travel like Enderman. They don't have to walk. They just teleport wherever they want to go. If I could do that, I would teleport to Grandma's house every day. She always has the best snacks. My favorite is when she makes ladyfingers. The sandwiches, I mean? Aren't ladyfingers like cake? Anyway, this is Wednesday. Are they just gonna... Okay. Wednesday. We have a witch that lives on our street. I think she's funny looking. She has a big nose with a mole on it. She walks around mad all the time. I would be mad too if I had a big nose with a mole on it. You know it, brother. One day, Skelly asked the witch what it's like to have a big nose with a mole on it. She just walked away mad. Stupid boomer. The kids in my neighborhood sometimes tease her and say she's ugly. Mom says the witch probably looked better when she was younger. So me and the guys decided to look her up in the yearbook in the school library. Okay, so here's a picture of a Minecraft witch, and then on the opposite page is a picture of a real human with a photoshopped long nose and a big mole on it. It says, nope, she's always been ugly. Wonder what it's like to have a nose. Dad says I had an uncle who had a nose. He got a cold once. That's the last time they ever saw his nose again. Dad also said that I had another uncle who had ears, but he couldn't find them after he started wearing a helmet. Big think on that one. I used to feel embarrassed when my body parts occasionally fell off. Now it's the best excuse ever for staying home from school. It doesn't happen often. When it does, I milk it for all it's worth. I just have to pick the right body parts. One time I said, Mom, I just lost an eyeball. Congratulations, honey, she said. Now I stick to the legs. Can't go to school without legs. That's kind of messed up for disabled kids, but Mom says that when a zombie loses a tooth, they can put it under their pillow and the tooth fairy will come and give you a quarter. I thought I struck it rich until I realized the most I can ever make is 75 cents. It's Friday. Mom and Dad said that if I get a good grade on my scare test, I can get a pet. That sounded awesome until I realized I could only get a pet squid. Okay. I would rather have a cat or a dog like Steve. Why can't you get a cat? Well, Mom says we can't because... Okay, but Mom says we can't because we shed all over the furniture. Dogs have a habit of burying our body parts in the backyard, she says. Cats are worse. They have a habit of turning everything into a scratching post. Squids are okay, I guess. All they do is swim around. Creepy's parents gave him a pig. Now that's a cool pet. He didn't have it for long though. One day it got struck by lightning. My cousin Piggy thought he saw it roaming around his neighborhood in the Nether. It turned into a pigman when it got struck. Speaking of lightning, one of Creepy's uncles got struck by lightning once. They took him to the hospital. He didn't stay long though. The hospital exploded. I think the witch on our street was struck by lightning once too. Probably hit her on the nose. I guess if she got struck by lightning... I guess if I got struck by lightning, I'd be mad too. My Uncle Wither is coming to visit today. Why is that your uncle? I wouldn't mind, but he usually makes such a mess. I tried sneaking up on him once. I couldn't do it. He always seems to know when I'm coming. I'm not going to be able to stay long though. I want to go see Skelly's older brother's new band. They call themselves The Walking Dead. And then this is in italics. Cool. My mom doesn't like them. She says they're a bad influence. She says if I keep listening to their music like that, I'll start acting more human. Uncle Wither told me he was in a band once. I thought it was a rock band. Turned out it was Obsidian. Not cool. Is the joke that Obsidian isn't rock? Because I don't think that's true. Yeah. Sunday. I thought I'd go visit Steve today. Steve sometimes likes to mine at night. I think I'm going to creep up on him and scare him today, but he usually hears me coming. This is how Bill Murray died in Zombieland. Steve says he wants to be a zombie like me. Why does he say that? He says zombies have the easy life. Boy, if he only knew. I tried to introduce Steve to my friends, but Creepy got really nervous around him, so we had to put Creepy on a timeout. What? Steve and Skelly got along really well. They even played Cowboys and Indians. Steve is usually the cowboy. I know because when they're finished, Steve's usually covered in arrows. Today Steve asked me how you can tell a girl zombie from a boy zombie. I said, that's easy. All you have to do is look at our clothes. Steve just looked at me, confused. He asked me if zombies had girlfriends. Yeah, they do. He asked me if I had a zombie girlfriend. I said, of course I do. What do you think I am, a loser? The truth is, I don't have a girlfriend. But Sally Cadaver from biology class has been in each of my classes since 2nd grade, so technically I can call her my girlfriend. How do you kiss since you don't have lips? Steve asked. I just looked at Steve confused. A few weeks ago, this is Monday, a new kid transferred to my school. His name is Jake. He's a wither skeleton. So I want to loop back to Uncle Wither. He's definitely not a wither skeleton. He is the Wither, is his uncle. They say he got kicked out of his last school because he poisoned somebody. What the fuck? What the fuck? He poisoned... Okay. I think I'm going to make friends with him so that if anyone messes with me, Jake could threaten to poison them too. This is when you make friends with the weird kid at school. Just hope he doesn't poison me first. But it's always good to have someone like Jake on your side. You see, being a zombie in middle school can be a dangerous thing. Sometimes you need protection, especially from bullies. The biggest bully in my school is named Mike Magma. He's a magma cube. Everybody says he's a real hothead. What's weird is Mike is Slimy's cousin, and he picks on Slimy too. I wonder what kind of poison Jake would use on him. Well, the kid can wish, can't he? It's fucked up. Today the class went to a new village to practice scaring. I was a little nervous because Jeff said this village had an iron golem. If you don't know what an iron golem is, just imagine a giant foot designed for the sole purpose of squashing a zombie like a cockroach. Jeff said no zombie had ever seen one and lived to tell about it. Why are you going to this village with this demon creature? Our teacher, Mr. Bones, heard our conversations and told us there were no iron golems at this village. Okay. And then, this is weird. This part of the book is in very small font compared to the rest of it. It says, still, I like my limbs and I would like to keep them, thank you. I don't know why that's so tiny. Creepy got nervous and started shaking again. Ms. Bones decided to send him home with a note. The village was actually quite peaceful. There were no villagers out, so I practiced scaring some sheep. Didn't work very well. They just stood there looking at me. Well, she wasn't Miss Bones. I might have been mispronouncing that the whole time. Wednesday. Today I got caught passing a note to Skelly in class. It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't the day that Skelly wanted to know who I liked. It wouldn't be so bad if we had one of those laid-back nice teachers, but Ms. Bones is as stiff as they come. It's a boner joke there for you. She has a rule that if she catches anyone passing notes in her class, she's going to read it out loud to everybody. And today she read out loud, I like Sally Cadaver, and I want her to be my girlfriend. Why did you put that on a note? My life is officially over. Yeah, the only thing that... Well, you're dead, so, the only thing that saved me was that Sally was out for the week because she was getting her tonsils put back in. But now the whole school knows, including Jeff. Knowing Jeff, he's gonna try and beat me at getting Sally as his girlfriend. As a girlfriend? Who's Jeff? Which one's Jeff? The wither skeleton is named Jake, then it's Creepy Skelly Slimy. Who's Jeff? Hold on. I'm looking for Jeff. What's the Magma Cube's name? The Magma Cube is Mike Magma. Who's Jeff? Is this a new character? Knowing Jeff, he's gonna try and beat me at getting Sally as a girlfriend. Ever since we were kids, Jeff is always trying to show me he's better than me at something. Jeff was the first to lose his baby teeth and his regular teeth. Jeff was the first to grow mold on his chest. Jeff was also the first to get a villager to faint during scare practice. It wouldn't be so bad, but Jeff is better looking than me too. He's lost more hair than I have. He has a nicer shade of green. He's a nicer shade of green than I am. He's got more guts, more of his guts and entrails showing than I do. He'll have Sally Cadaver as his girlfriend in no time. I'm doomed! It's Thursday. After what happened yesterday, I decided to fake being sick to stay home from school. That's a smart move. Usually a missing limb would do the trick, but I think my mom and dad were onto me, so I decided to use my ace in the hole. I was gonna take a bath. Zombies are not supposed to get wet. They keep saying that. And zombies are definitely not supposed to take baths. It takes a lot of years to get your rotting flesh just the right color and smell. Taking a bath would make you look like you were the living. Perfect effect I wanted. Mom and Dad didn't know that I knew about baths. I learned it from Steve. He says humans take baths all the time. That would explain why Mom says that humans smell funny. His cousin's name is Piggy. Hold on, I'm back on the Jeff thing. His cousin's name is Piggy. Jeff is a new character. Okay. That would explain why Mom says that humans smell funny. So right before evening, when the moon was about to rise, I woke up early, sneaked out of the house, and ran to the lake. This is it, I thought. As I was looking at the lake and getting myself ready to jump in, Old Man Jenkins came out riding his zombie horse. What do you think you're doing, young man? Old Man Jenkins came out riding his zombie horse. What do you think you're doing, young man? I'm about to take a bath, I said. What in tarnation you doing that for? So I told him the whole story. And weird as it was, I could tell he knew from first-hand experience what I was going through. I guess all zombies have to go through stuff as kids. Then, Old Man Jenkins says, just wash your hand and tell your mom and dad you caught a rash at school. Always worked for me. So I tried it. Worked like a charm. Now I just have to find another idea of how to stay home from school tomorrow. Today I washed the other hand and told my mom and dad that the rash had spread. They believed it. Only problem is they believed it too well. My mom and dad rushed me to the hospital so the doctor would check to see if I was turning human. Okay. They even called a specialist to see if I was contagious. Not only do the kids at school think I'm an outcast, but my whole neighborhood will too, I thought. The specialist was a witch doctor from the swamp biome. I didn't know that men could be witches too. But there he was, with a big nose with a mole on it. After checking me out, he sent me home. I think the witch doctor knew I was faking. Probably because he had to do the same thing when he was a kid. No, because he can't pretend to be dead. He's okay. Skelly, Creepy, and Slimy came over to see how I was doing. Creepy was nervous of catching what I had, so he started shaking again. The guys sent him home because the pressure was too much for him. I asked the guys how it went in school. They sent everyone home because some kid at school caught white hand disease. Okay. Do they know who it was? I asked. Nope. What's wrong with you anyway? Skelly asked. Just a cold, I said, as I slowly covered my hands. I like how, Creepy is basically like an animal. Like, they treat him like a dog. They, like, put him in timeout. Like, send him home. After my miraculous one-day recovery, Dad decided to take me on a camping trip. He wanted to take me to the swamp biome. He said the stale air there would do me some good. Dads like to take their kids on camping trip, thinking it will do them good. Slimy's dad took him to the snowy biome once. I don't think he thought it through, though. They were frozen solid for a few days until they were discovered by some tourists. It's kind of fucked up. Skelly's dad took him to the forest biome. Afterwards, he said, I wasn't expecting there to be so many wolves. Creepy's dad took him and the whole family out on a field trip to the desert biome. Nobody warned them about the cactus. No, I'm not saying that dads don't mean well. I'm saying that they don't have a great track record when it comes to preparing for these trips. Moms, on the other hand, prepare for everything. My mom even gave me some bug spray so the swamp bugs would lay eggs on me on my trip. Dad didn't think of that. When I went to go visit Steve, he was busy punching a tree. Of course he was. I was going to ask him what he was doing, but I am used to seeing him do weird things. What's eating you? Steve said. Maggots, how about you? No, I mean what's bothering you, he said. So I told him the whole story about Sally Cadaver. Well, zombies aren't very different, Steve said. We smell different. Yeah, that's true, Steve said, but on the inside, we're exactly the same. I just looked at Steve, confused. Steve smiled and went back to punching his tree. I went home and decided that today, I wanted to test how strong I am. I was going to show Jeff that I can do anything he can. So I decided to go out during the day. Creepy's coming with me to take pictures so I can prove it. How do they take pictures? Hey, if Steve could punch a tree, I can do this. Any old schmuck can punch a tree. Monday. Stayed home from school today to grow my skin back. Ouch, and that's a picture of him on fire. How can he grow skin back? Things fall off of him, and it's like, okay. Tuesday, back to school today. I was bummed because I wanted to skip another day of school, but rotten flesh grows back pretty fast. Weird. I guess it's not so bad, because today we're going on a field trip, but field trips can be hit or miss sometimes. Ms. Bones took us to an abandoned mine once. It was cool, but Skelly got lost and we couldn't find him for days. He said that he got kidnapped by some bloodthirsty humans that just wanted to eat his brains. Skelly said this? Yeah. Skelly got lost and we couldn't find him for days. He got kidnapped? Okay, but I think he just got stuck in a spider web and was too embarrassed to tell anyone. Especially since Skelly doesn't have blood or a brain. This guy's like always one step ahead of me. Ms. Bones said that we were taking a trip to the Enderworld, where the Endermen live. Why are there 2 field trips in a row after we just had one where you lost a student for several days? Anyway, this is great because I can finally settle a bet with Slimy over what an Enderman house looks like. Slimy says it's probably a castle made of obsidian and diamonds. I think it's more like a junkyard since they are always picking up blocks and stuff. Ms. Bones said we may even see the Ender Dragon. It would be so cool. I heard about the Ender Dragon. It's supposed to be this massively awesome dragon that flies around in the Enderworld. My dad said that he saw it fly by once, but I think my dad just made it up to look cool. I think the older you get, the harder dads work at trying to be cool. The field trip today was a total bomb. Nobody told me that it was a field trip to the Enderworld Natural Museum. The Ender Dragon was just an exhibit of some old dinosaur bones, dragon bones. It's just like teachers to ruin a kid's dreams. And the only Enderman I met was the security guard that was guarding the Ender Crystal exhibit. But I have to admit, the Ender Dragon exhibit was pretty awesome. They only had a skeleton of the Ender Dragon, but it was huge. Skelly was drooling. Okay, did he want to eat it? Did he want to fuck it? Like... After class today, I saw Sally Cadaver. She was talking to Big Mouth Jeff. I wanted to say hi and see if I could take my relationship with her to the next level, but Jeff started bragging again. I saw an iron golem with my uncle yesterday, he said. Big deal, I said. I knew I had to step up my game. My feeble chances to make Sally my girlfriend would be utterly crushed. Yeah? Well, I actually touched one, I said. Mouths opened, books dropped. I heard creaking noises. His head turned toward me. Oh man, I really stepped in it now. I knew the next words out of Jeff's mouth were going to be something. We're going to determine the fate of my existence for all eternity. I dare you to do it again, Jeff said. He said it. I was doomed. Okay, I said, that's all caps. Thinking that I might have enough time to get out of town. But Sally looked at me like I was the Ender Dragon himself. Gendered? So you know I had to open my big mouth and say, when and where, just name it. Tomorrow night, Jeff said. Great, I have 1 day left to live. Didn't say where. Today is the day. Today is the day I face my death at the hands of an iron golem. I went downstairs and gave my mom and dad a farewell hug. They didn't know that today would be my last day to live. Not alive, but I didn't have the heart to tell them. My little brother was riding his chicken around too fast, so I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him either. After school, Jeff had his uncle take us to where they saw the iron golem before, and sure enough, there it was, standing guard in front of the village. Everybody from school was there too. Great, I'm gonna die, and there's gonna be an audience. My family's name will be cursed forever. It was Sally looking at me through her big eye sockets, so proud of the zombie that I had become. Well, at least she can enjoy it for the next few short minutes of my life, I thought. Okay, it's time, Jeff said. Gulp. Well, here it goes. I started walking toward the iron golem. As I started walking... So he's writing this diary, so we can assume that he's fine. I just want to point that out, too. Like, this is his diary. It's not her... Anyway. As I started walking, it looked at me and got into a zombie squashing stance. Oh man, this is going to hurt, I said under my breath. My dad told me that when he was in the zombie army, he got hit by an iron golem. The zombie army. He said it took them weeks to find his left arm and leg. All this for Sally Cadaver. Man, girls are just trouble. I was just about within arm's reach of the iron golem, and I thought to myself, this is dumb. Who am I kidding? I am a loser. I started to turn around in utter shame when all of a sudden Steve jumped out from behind the iron golem. The crowd went silent, and Steve put his arm around my shoulder and walked me to the iron golem. The iron golem lifted up his hand like he planned to crush both of us with a single blow. Then when his hands came down, it was full of flowers. He gave them to me and Steve. I took some. The crowd was so surprised. I think some of them dropped their jaws literally. I walked back to the crowd of mobs and handed the flowers to Sally. Everybody started cheering. Everybody started clapping. I turned around and gave Steve a thumbs up. He gave me one back. It's cool. There's a picture of Steve giving a thumbs up. Yesterday was the best day ever. I survived being crushed by an iron golem. I proved to Jeff that I am better at something than he is, and Sally Cadaver is no longer technically my girlfriend. Now she is my girlfriend. But I still wish someone would tell me I'm supposed to kiss her with no lips. Everybody's talking about what happened yesterday too. But the thing that people are really talking about is how I have a human friend named Steve. Guess the secret's out. Well, I hope more zombies can find friends like Steve. Then instead of going out scaring villagers at night, we could all just get along. Steve is not aligned to the villagers, young man. Steve is a force of chaos. He's a different entity, okay? He doesn't live in their village. He doesn't need food. He doesn't need family. He's immortal. Anyway, Sunday. Today, Steve invited me to come visit his village. Ooh, gonna bring Skelly, Creepy, and Slimy with me. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Creepy was a little scared though. Had to calm him down. I don't know why he's so scared. I mean, really, what could go wrong? It's the last entry. So they died, is what went wrong. Steve took them to the village and they died. Yep. There's some ads at the back of the book, but I'm not gonna read them. This book has an ISBN number. We used one of those on this. Okay. Just gonna... Okay.